pulling things up.
Good morning. It is October 18th today, and Q4 has really begun, and it's just going to continue to get better and better going into November, which is really such a great month for shopping and deals and everything. Before we jump into our topics today, I want to share just a weird story. So, last night, when I went upstairs, I watch TV when I lay in bed. Like I watch TV for like an hour before I shut it off and go to sleep. I
Were you
couldn't find
abducted by aliens?
no,
Okay.
but I could not find the remote control to the TV anywhere. I couldn't find it. And I always leave it like right under my pillow, right? So it's not there. And I'm like, well, did it drop to the floor? Like all the common sense things that you would do. Did I lay it on the nightstand? Did I carry it into the bathroom when I went in there to brush my teeth? Just all of the things. So my husband and I, we tear apart the bed, that we pull the sheets off, we're pulling the pillows off. He even gets a flashlight. We're looking under the bed. This remote control is nowhere. And I have a Roku TV. So he brings upstairs the Roku remote for our downstairs Roku and to see if it was compatible, and it was. And so I was able to watch TV and change the channels and everything last night. And like always, when I'm going to doze off, I lay it on the pillow that's kind of like unused because he goes to bed later than me. And if the TV's still on, he'll just turn it off. So this last night when he went to bed, he said both of the remotes were laying on the pillow. So this morning he said, oh, where did you find the other remote last night? I'm like, I did not find the remote. I still was only using the one you brought up to me. It is a mystery how magically the other remote just appeared on the pillow next to the other one he brought me. And we are absolutely perplexed. How did this happen?
Okay, so either you have a ghost or Kevin found it and put it on the pillow and is playing dumb.
No, Kevin doesn't do. I'm the one that would play that kind of a trick, not Kevin. I'm the one that would do that and be like, I don't know. And then another thing is when we were looking for the Roku remote, we even went so far as to lift up our mattress. Like, all right, did it somehow fall? Like, because we've got a headboard, footboard type of bed. And so we thought, well, maybe it went down under that, like that footboard, under the mattress. We lift up the mattress, everything. What I did find under the mattress, which also perplexes me, is about a year ago, I had lost my round brush for my hair, those big round brushes.
Yeah.
And that was under the mattress. How? Like, how did my round hairbrush get under the mattress of our bed? Like, I don't even see how that could slip down in the bed and get, I just don't know. So yeah, we're both a little bit just like, we just don't even know how to explain it. I mean, we tore the bed apart, took all the pillows off, the sheets, like trying to find this remote last night. I don't understand. Anyway, that's how my day started off this morning.
Well, I wish I was still there because then I'd totally mess with you and hide some stuff or something.
Good morning, Nicolette and Fabulous One, Millennial Money Mom, and April, Jeanette, Casey, and Reno. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if all of you heard my weird story as you were logging in, but yeah, it was just a weird situation. So Amazon has changed the bundle policy. If you guys did not receive the email, we're going to be talking a little bit about the message that they've sent out to everybody regarding this new bundle policy and what they're going to be doing about it. And I know Lucy was getting screenshots of that.
I've got a whole bunch, but yeah. So first up, good morning, Nicolette, Fabulous, and Millennial Money Mom, April, Casey, Jeanette, everybody out there, and Reno, of course. We've got a lot of topics today, so that's kind of nice. But it feels like last week there wasn't a whole lot going on, and then this week we've got a buttload, and it's a little hard to keep track because they'll announce things, and then you have to kind of decipher what is Amazon saying, and then how does that affect me, and what does that mean going forward, and really kind of digest it. So a lot of these things Tina and I are still digesting, as most people are, because man, there's a lot. But there was a couple of things. First, Fabulous, are you the lady who I've been talking to in email? Just I want to make sure I didn't have time yet to go look up your name or not, but I have meant to message you if you're the one that I've been talking to. I needed to email you later. I don't have anything updated, but just some other ideas. Millennial Money Mom, she brought up a good question. I wanted to kind of dive there first, and then we'll go into the bundle policy. I'm trying to line up the topics on my thing, but I haven't gotten through them all yet. All right. So let me know if I could shout out your question on this platform, because I do know, Fabulous, that we do have a couple other Canadian sellers. So if you wouldn't mind, I won't share your product or anything, but I can share your thing, see if anybody else has any ideas. All right. So Millennial Money Mom brought this up, and I hadn't had time because I was trying to explain, I don't scroll Facebook on the computer. I don't. I do this Facebook on the phone. In order to go over there, I have to go log in, and anyhow, it's Facebook on the computer just doesn't want to go with me. So she was saying on this ice nugget thing, which my daughter really wants one of these, and I'm like, I'm not paying $300 for you to eat rabbit ice, honey.
They have them on Nellis auction all the time.
If you, I don't know if I can get it from Vegas to. I could get it from Vegas to Seattle. If you see one, holler at me, because she's been wanting one for years. And a panda. I can definitely get ice over a panda. For the longest time, we had an argument. We have bamboo growing in the yard, and she wants a panda. And yeah, that's not going to happen.
Everybody wants a panda.
I know they look so cute and cuddly, but I guess they're not really cute and cuddly. Okay, so the problem is that there was 11 ratings, but the Keepa store shows that it's been open for 10 days, and she was asking about how could it be open. Let's go down to the reviews. So 2023. So it has reviews from 2023, but the Keepa graph
shows it's only been there for 10 days.
10 days. So why is it showing like that? And I don't have a good answer. Do you have a good answer? Do you know why?
The only thing I can think of is, as you know, Amazon is the one that shares. Is it called an API? When
API, the API feed goes from Amazon to Keepa. So that.
So it's all dependent upon what Amazon wants to share. And we've all seen these glitches from time to time. Like several years ago, there was a dinosaur mask I was selling from Target, and it always showed a 0 rank. There was never any like the Keepa on it was off. And as soon as you would list one, they would sell. So there are glitches within Keepa that I don't have an answer as to why, but my guess is it has something to do with the API feed between Amazon on that particular listing to the software tools.
Yeah. Okay. That's the only thing I can think of too. There are so many glitches within Amazon. It's unfreaking believable. I still love when you're creating listings or updating listings, you have to hit the save twice almost all the time. Almost every time you have to hit the save twice, which is super annoying. And then when I'm working with clients and I'm like, okay, you're going to have to hit the save twice. They're like, why? Because it's Amazon. I don't have better things. So Melissa, the one thing that I was looking for or thinking of with your ice maker in my head, because I couldn't see the pictures or whatnot, is you will see every once in a while where people will jump on older listings and the reviews don't match up with the product. And that's because they've hijacked an older one and they're using the rankings and the reviews to help boost their product. Typically, if you're going to do that, if you're going to be a criminal, the correct way to be a criminal is to find something that is very similar, like another ice maker or at least a kitchen gadget of some sort, and not do, something completely off the wall bonkers. Amazon will, they say they will eventually catch up on it and fix that, but I haven't seen them fix hijackers at all in years and years and years. All right, Fabulous. Let me know if I can shout out your story. If not, that's okay. That's cool too. All right, bundle policy. I don't think this page has much to it. I want to say this one was much better, and then I blew up this guy to right here, and then even better right there. Okay, so let's head back for just a second. The bundle policy now, if you go in and state it, and we'll bring up the picture, says that you cannot mix brands. They're rolling this out for grocery, but it will encompass by the end of this year consumables, which is beauty products, health products, grocery products. The new rule is they will give you 30-day warning. Hi, thank you for no warning there. Which we've made some progress on my case, but nothing that I want to announce yet. So we're still in progress. But you cannot mix brands or things anymore. So they have some great examples up here. This Dawn In Policy bundle case, great. Pairing it with a scrubber doodad, no. Pairing soap with some gloves and a sponge, no. That's out of policy. Putting your chips together and putting them in a branded box, no longer allowed. Only for food right now. So if you are currently doing this system or this style, you need to reconfigure your business fairly quick. And there are a lot of people that do snack boxes with all sorts of different snacks. That's a huge chunk of Amazon's business.
And a lot of us have gotten IP complaints from those people when we've actually jumped on their bundles. I've told that story many times where I jumped on a man's bundle and it was 2 packs of branded coffee, similar to this Lay's chip one in the corner. And in his very last image, he showed his branded box that the coffee comes in, and he listed the coffee under his brand name. Like this example here is Santa Fe. And he was able to file an IP claim against me, and it went on my account health dashboard, and he wouldn't remove it. Right. So it's interesting now how Amazon is not allowing you to do that. The type of bundles I used to do historically was like the Dawn with the gloves and the sponge, bundles similar to that, where I would mix a brand name item with some non-branded items. That was always allowed. And so now they're not allowing that.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
The issue with this type of bundle that we have been doing for years and is very predominant on Amazon is one of their policies is that the most expensive item needs to be the brand of the bundle. Okay, well, this dollar store Dawn, because really you can get that size at the dollar store, may or may not be more or less expensive than the sponge. Let's say it's a very nice sponge. You could argue that the sponge is more expensive than the Dawn, and the sponge is a private label item. So that's why it's under the private label per their bundle policy rules.
What their prior bundle policy rules were.
Yeah,
so now the bundle policy rule is like that first one. If it's a case pack like the Dawn, it has to be manufactured by Dawn, sold like that by Dawn, and then you can sell a case pack of items like that first image. A bundler did not put together the Dawn spray bottle with all the refills listed under Dawn and are allowed to do that.
Yeah. And where Amazon is getting their panties in a bunch is Amazon wants and encourages these types of bundles all the time. They want and encourage this. They want and encourage this. They want and they encourage this. And I have walked through with Seller Central, and they have literally told me that this is what you do. And I could see totally justifying it being under a private label, because this, whatever this cleaning doodad thing is probably more expensive than the soap. That you could easily argue that. With this one, arguing that the sponge is more expensive than Dawn, potatoes, that somebody might buy, they might not buy. There's no regulation, there's no policy, there's no invoices you could submit. You would just say, well, this is what I want to do, and I'm going to put it under that. And one of the big things with Amazon is they lock down so many brand names that I can't list under Dawn. So if I want to list this multi-pack, I can't list it because I don't have authorization to list under the Dawn name, even though it's mostly Dawn. And it doesn't even make sense. Why would you want to list this under Dawn soap when you have your private label item here that's clearly the predominant thing? So it's I want to say cluster something, but we will not say bad words this morning, although I really want to. Really want to. Okay. With this policy, kind of what you all need to know is if you have bundles that are like that, you will eventually get caught up in this, I'm going to guess. And you probably want to start cleaning that process up right now. Now, they said the new policy, they will give you 30 days warning. And when you get that thing in 30 days, probably easiest just to delete. If you have a bunch of inventory, start selling through it. Get ready for Christmas time to sell through, blow out, delete that listing, and move on so that you can be compliant. Going forward with bundles, I would stick to bundles like this and not have a name brand here, because that's what we are finding out is going on right now with the whole bundle policy. This whole bundle policy is being stemmed from companies like Dawn getting pissed off and going to Amazon and saying, we're gonna take you to court over all these IP claims because you're allowing people to list our product, yada yada. And it could be Dawn, it could be Nike, could be, I don't know, whatever name brand out there that you want to pick on. The companies are going to Amazon and getting very upset. So that's what is driving this. So in the future, you can have your Moppy thing, but then put in some generic soap that does not have a brand name on it.
And of course, the whole reason why all of us like to use a brand name is because that's the driving force of what sold the bundles. And there are brand names that I have worked with who don't care that I bundle their product. And they say, yeah, it's so weird that Amazon won't let you list it under our brand name. And, you know, in the past, I've had interactions with brands that I work with directly who have given me their explicit permission to bundle their branded products. Yep. And so, yeah, there is just this huge gray area. And now Amazon, seem to enforce putting the hammer down. And April asks, that she finds it interesting Amazon shut down people in the light of you guys, Amazon Lit, Corey, etc. Have you guys thought about this? I feel like, yes, they are using us to be their example, to make everybody scared to not do these things because they don't know what they're doing from one department to another. I have lots of proof of that. And now they have rewritten this bundle policy and are extending a huge grace period to everybody, giving you until Q4 to kind of work it out and give you this big, by the end of Q4, we're going to start enforcing this. And at the time that we do start enforcing it, we're going to send you a friendly email giving you 30 days to resolve it. Meanwhile, there are still thousands of Amazon sellers that are deactivated for this bundling policy. And it kind of reminds me of, I was talking to my husband about this, saying, how there's a lot of men and women serving, 20, 30-year prison sentences over a small amount of marijuana possession. And because at the time it was illegal. Now, all these years later, the amount that they were arrested for is now legal, yet they're still serving out their, 15 more years prison sentence for these crimes. It kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yes. And, I don't know why we were in the net with everybody else. It looks like it was targeted for people that did consumer products. Consumables. So we did find some similarities between all of us that are been deactivated, but nothing hardlined. It's kind of weird. Okay, I think I got all of my topics up here. The next one kind of bring up, and again, if you guys have any comments, questions, whatever that you want us to look into, go ahead and say something, because we are here to answer your questions. Good question right there.
Show Nicolette's post from earlier. I've been wanting to, because before I forget it, because I love this. That Nicolette says, just to remind y'all, I'm a flower farmer 8 months of the year and reselling during the winter. I'm back. I love that you're a flower farmer. I love that. I want to go where you do this at, and I love it.
Let's answer a couple here. So April says she has to keep logging out. Yeah, that's something new with Amazon. Everybody's complaining about it. I don't have any workarounds. I've been asked both on Fiverr and some of my clients how to get around this. Trusting your computer does nothing. Nothing.
No, trust this OTP. Yeah, don't require it on this OTP browser and whatever that little box says. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I've been currently logged in Amazon and I'll have another tab open on Amazon. Sometimes you just want to go back and forth, and like that, like April says, it times out, and it's like, how does it time out when I'm still over on this tab working in Amazon, but the other window timed out, and so I have to log back in on that window, do the whole. I hate it. I really find it frustrating too.
Yeah, Heather says I don't trust them. Yeah, don't trust him. Yeah. Don't trust him. And what's funny is they were talking in the group yesterday. Somebody was trying to explain this new bundle policy, and the Amazon workers have not been told about the policy. I'm almost like, Amazon workers, come listen to our show because maybe you'll learn about your job. Maybe.
Yeah, and this was an executive, I believe, and the executive knew nothing about it.
Why is the mixed soda pack compliant? Because it's all Pepsi or Coke products.
Yeah, these are all, that's a box. Think of when you go to Costco or Sam's Club and it comes as a big multi-pack like that. Think when you're buying bulk at Costco. And these other ones are out of policy because it's like, I cracked that box open on the in policy bundle and I made my own little variety pack, one of all these flavors. And I sold it in or out of my branded box. And now they're saying that's out of policy because that is not a pack put together.
No. She's asking about this one. This one up here is allowed because all of these are Coke branded. Coca-Cola
owns the in policy one.
Yeah.
Yes. And are not those other ones all Coke branded?
No, because you have Coke and Pepsi together. That's why you can't.
I don't see the Pepsi. Oh, now I see the Pepsi in there. Got it.
So and also, you can't mix brands. You can keep brands together. All right. Next up, solution equals Walmart. I know. I've been listening over on Walmart. Thanks so much. Does anybody have any issues logging into Amazon app? I waste about 15 minutes more every day. I'm sorry. What are you using the app for? Because just curious. I usually, when I'm working, I use the computer, but only when I'm scanning things do I use the app because I can't work on the screen that.
Oh yeah, when I log in the Amazon app, it never asks for OTP or anything. That I just push the app, it opens. I don't have any problems being in the app. So that is interesting. That maybe it's hit or miss for people.
Yeah. All right. So moving on, we've got Amazon AWD faces capacity challenges. Anything Amazon puts out, is going to be a cluster. They've been really, really forcefully wanting people to do this AWD, where you send your inventory to them, and for a small fee, they will hold it and send it into FBA so that you don't have the storage fees and you're always have product in stock. And, this is great for private label. Let's say you're working with a Chinese manufacturer and the Chinese manufacturer wants you to run 1,000 at a time to save money. So you're going to order 1,000 widgets from China. You send 1,000 to AWD, and AWD is going to send 200 a month into Amazon for the FBA orders. And that's the process. And they charge a small fee for that. But breaking news, they are at capacity challenges, which is, yeah, it is what it is. They drive me crazy. They have this great program, and now it's too much. All right, what is this one, Kieran? Amazon is not ungating with Bath & Body Works. Nope, they locked down Bath & Body Works like a year ago. And Victoria's Secret, tried for that one again because I used to be able to do both of those.
Yeah, there's a lot of
packing slip. How do you get ungated? You don't. They locked those down about a year ago. So there is no invoice. If they ever were, because when I used to do it, you go to your Bath & Body Works account and go get the invoice from there because there are invoices. And I believe it goes back 2 years that it saves it on your Bath & Body Works account. And then you download those invoices to PDF.
And the people that do sell already on Bath & Body, it's because you're grandfathered in. It's like my account is grandfathered in for that, for Nike, for different brands. I can sell LOL in my account.
I know.
And it's being grandfathered in, and you'll find that there are things that you're approved for now that maybe in 8 years are going to be locked down for everybody else. It's just, I don't know their reasons, and some of the things just don't feel fair, and I get that.
No, and Trader Joe's, because a lot of people will ask about Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's is just a auto ungate at some point. You can't. There's no invoices to submit. There's no application. It's just like one day you wake up and you can sell Trader Joe's. So keep checking. I do know that what helps is to have an account that is selling things. There's something in the algorithm of your seller history, whether that's time or volume per month or the day of the week. I have no idea, but there is something within the algorithm of your account history that will trigger unlocking of certain things. All right. Consumers hate paying for return shipment. It tops jury duty and the DMV. How do you feel about this one?
Well, as a shopper, yeah, I don't want to have to pay for return shipping either, because it sucks, because I've already paid for it to be shipped to me. I paid for the item, and then I'm paying for it to be shipped back. Then you feel like, well, I might as well just keep it. And as a seller, on my end, I feel like, well, I don't want to be out the money for my product. You're maybe not sending me back the right thing. I don't want to have to pay to send it to you and then have to pay to send it back to me. I might as well let you keep it, but I'm not going to, because it makes me mad, right? So it's just like, nobody likes to pay for shipping. Nobody on either side of the sale.
Yeah, and Amazon's big shtick is fast shipping and an awesome return policy. That's really the only thing they have going for them, right? I mean, they do have a better built platform than, say, Walmart in terms of ease of use and the construction of it. But that's why people shop Amazon. They like the convenience. They are paying for the convenience, and we are paying to sell on that platform that has billions, millions at least of credit cards with people that want to click and order. All right, go ahead, pop that up. Sorry.
Oh, no, I just like to pop things up that people say that are interesting. That William says that he just realized he got an auto ungate for Starbucks. Auto ungates are the best. Yes. And going into Q4, it's great to be able to have Starbucks for sure. And Kylene says that more brands have become restricted. Olay and Neutrogena on Walmart, plus a ton on Amazon. For her, Lego, L'Oreal, Hasbro are now restricted on Amazon. And and then when those are restricted on Amazon, you try to sell them on Walmart. And that's where it's nice to have the multiple selling platforms. But being a reseller in the recent years, last year and this year especially, has been very draining and exhausting, and constantly having to pivot to keep the income coming in with all of these changes. Mm-hmm. And we do have it's going to be next week on Wednesday. I've been doing a show every other Wednesday called Walmart Wednesday on my channel. So if you haven't hung out with us, Kylene, every other week on my channel, I'm doing a Walmart show, since I've been getting more into Walmart. So if you haven't checked that out, check that out. And for any of you that are here this week that were here last Friday's show, when we were talking about setting up your advertising campaigns, managing your advertising campaigns, I am curious if any of you tried any of the things that we were showing and how it's working for you. There are a lot of different names here this week than were here live last week, so you maybe missed it, but I was just curious.
Yep. I did want to touch on the Starbucks and the brands and the Olay and Neutrogena and all that. What's irritating, or what I hope they go to, is, Starbucks is a pretty big brand name, right? And we all want to be able to sell Starbucks, and they come out with a new cup like every day. It feels like there's a new style or tumbler out there. Mm-hmm. And there should be a way to say, hey, Amazon, this cup is not currently on Amazon. I have it through an order through, legit distributors, and I want to be able to list it on your platform and have some sort of submission where you can submit the invoice or pictures of the UPC code and the branding, so that you can list that item, or that they could list it and have that item for sale. I hope we see that in the future. I hope that's what they go to, because then the companies couldn't get mad because it's their product and it was done correctly, and we could still find new products, because that's what Amazon likes, us going out and finding products for their customers. There's a saying out there that if you can't find it, just buy it on Amazon. That everything is on Amazon. Well, if you start cutting us off at the knees, then we're not going to have it. And there's not going to be listings for that new tumbler, pink Stanley cup, or whatever it is that's hot right now. All right. Indonesia bans e-commerce firm Temu over fear that its small enterprises could be destroyed. So that's an interesting one. There's a lot of political debate around Temu, around Shein, around TikTok, all of these companies that are not American based, kind of capitalizing on American capitalism. I don't know what's going to go on with Temu and Shein. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I see these all the time. All the platforms fighting to be number one to get the sales. The stories, whether they're clickbait or whatever. Amazon's afraid of, because of Temu, and then the next thing you know, the company's investing in its competitor, and they're all jockeying to be number one and to keep themselves alive, right? Same as us.
Pardon me. Amazon is coming up with their own competitive for Temu. They are going to have a discounted type of brand on there. I'll see if I can find an article on it, but they are actually going to launch a competitor for Temu and Shein because Temu and Shein are taking money away from Amazon for sure. No doubt about it. All right, let's see if we can get into this one. This one is from ecommercebytes.com. So just shouting out where my sources are from. UPS posted its 2025 rates. And let's see here. The big thing from this is they are going to charge an additional 2% total when paid with a credit card. So if you use UPS and you pay with a credit card, because I know a lot of people do you do the travel cards or the cashback cards.
Look, I was going to comment on that next.
Go ahead.
And being that it's Finance Friday and all for me, I'm a big credit card hustler. I love earning the points, spending the points, because why wouldn't we when we shop online for a living? So on this particular topic with credit cards and shipping, I have linked up my eBay and my Etsy store to Pirate Ship. And I use a Capital One Sapphire. Capital. I have a few cards. This particular card is my Chase Inc. business credit card. Thank you, Millennial Money Mom. My Chase Inc. Preferred business card. I have that linked up to my Pirate Ship. So when I buy my eBay and my Etsy shipping on Pirate Ship, you get 3% cash back for buying shipping, and you are not charged that particular rate. I'm not buying on UPS. I'm going through Pirate Ship, which you also get the discounted rates as you do through eBay. And then it sends the tracking and information right into eBay because it's integrated. So I specifically have that credit card to use for only my shipping labels. And I get 3% cash back. And you earn points on all of your spend. So you're earning triple. And then that converts to free travel. Let your business pay for your vacations, people.
Yes, we've started to do some of it, but I need to call Tina and do some more. What else here? Preferred unlocks the Chase travel.
Yes. So you have to have certain cards that you're going to use. So Chase you can purchase your travel through Chase on their travel portal. And from there, you earn extra points because you bought it through Chase. But you can also transfer points to travel partners. So, that's getting really deep into it. But sometimes you maybe think of the main airlines like Delta, but Delta may have travel partners, and the travel partner, you can pay points with the travel partner, and they'll have free periods or bonus periods where you can transfer your points over to that airline carrier like Delta and get even more points because they have this promotion going, and you can get even more bang for your buck for your points, and you can pay with your points by transferring off of your Chase, say, over to Delta. That's just like an example.
Yeah. Tina is a travel hack guru. I love it. And I've started to get my husband on board with it. We're going to Portland for Thanksgiving, and we booked with points a nice hotel, because last year we stayed in an Airbnb that was like living in the middle of a pot house. It was so strong a smell, and it was hard for us to sleep. It was an unbelievably worst Airbnb ever. It was so bad. It was so bad. I mean, that was one of many things wrong with it. One, my son had an off room. It was weird. You had to walk through the bathroom to get to his room that they said, and it was like a couch with a blanket and then no heating. So my son had no heat. Like it was awful. Luckily, it was only a couple days, 2 nights. All right. USPS shipping dates. So go ahead, click on that link, mark down your calendars. Looks like the 18th is when you want to get all your stuff out if you're going to go first class or ground. Gosh, I already feel like I'm behind on the holidays and it hasn't even really started.
As you know, you were here at my house last Friday, and you can see my house, my stuff was pretty caught up, wasn't it? My piles were little, my work, I was in a pretty organized state. This week I got more done, but I did have a setback. So it's another story time for me. I started our show off with a story. Now halfway through, I've got another story. So I've done a couple of shows on my channel where I've been talking about letting ChatGPT help me manage my schedule, run numbers for me, even help me with my credit card perks and so on. So I have this schedule and I have been following this schedule. Well, life happens, right? Whether ChatGPT helped me with this schedule or I made it up, life happens and throws all of us off of our schedules. So we go to our car on Saturday morning to drive to the auction houses. Well, there's 3 of them here, and we were picking up our orders, our auction orders. So we get in the car Saturday, we drive to the first stop. And when my husband gets out of the car to open the back end, he says, "Your license plate's gone." We didn't notice it when we walked out of the house. And so obviously the license plate had been stolen. So I look at our Ring cameras, and sure enough, at 1 a.m., it started at 12:30, this same car. They drove. My street is kind of like a cul-de-sac, so it's not a street that you would just drive down. You would have to like purposely go down my street. So this car circles around my house on the camera, and then about 25 minutes later, you see this guy walks up to my car, and then you see that car that was there that drove by 30 minutes earlier, slowly behind him. He walks up to the back end of my car and yanks my license plate right off. You hear it on the camera. And he gets in that car and off they go. So I was driving around with the license plate all day Saturday, all day Sunday, go to the police station Monday morning, and it took an hour to file a police report. And then yesterday I got to sit at the DMV for an hour getting a new license plate. But the fear in you, it's like, I feel like, okay, so next month when they need another new license plate, are they going to come back and hit me again? And they sell these like screws, that you can put it's an anti-theft screw to put your license plate on your car with, which makes it, who cares? Because the guy didn't unscrew my plate. He yanked it off. And so it's like these screws are still, because he ripped it off. I mean, and so those little holes that you screw your screw into, those little threaded pieces, broke one of those in half. So I have 3 good ones, 1 bad one. Okay. So I went looking on Amazon because I have to buy a replacement, that other little hole, and that those things are just made by a plastic insert. Yeah. So if you have this anti-theft screw or anti-theft plate frame, it doesn't matter because you can still just rip it. I mean, if you're strong enough, you can still just rip it right out of your car. So
here's a new private label idea.
Yes. Use rivets to bolt your license plate. me and my husband, I'm like, do I do epoxy glue? Like, do I epoxy it on and screw it in? But I thought with our heat, eventually that epoxy will just,
Can you weld it? No, because it's to plastic, right?
Because you can't, it's kind of like if your house has ever been broken into or your car's been broken, anytime a thing happens like that, that fear in you is like, they're going to come back, right? They're going to come back. Right.
William, we are not going to say that one out loud because I don't I don't want to get Tina in trouble when when things go down.
Well, look, this is a state where you are allowed to protect your property like that. What's that law called?
I don't know. I thought everybody had that law because I mean we're big
Oh, is
bad
I thought
people
some
here.
states do and some don't. Yeah.
Whatever. You know what, Tina? If there's no evidence, then there's no case. Okay, just keep that in mind. All
And
right.
we have these cats that like patrol like neighbors' cats. They're house pets, but they're house pets that are allowed out that I always see on my cameras outside. They're always walking. I have a water fountain outside, and cats like to walk and get a drink out of this water fountain. And so when I saw the cats the next day, I'm like, you guys were not doing your job patrolling this neighborhood. Like I would love to envision like the cats jumping out and just like face claw.
Failed. All right. So there is a new fee on Amazon. William says this next hour is the law to own a gun if you own a house. It's law to own a gun. Okay. Anyhow, Amazon's got a new fee because, of course, why not add a new fee? It's a new year. Let's add a few new fees. Let's see here. This was in LinkedIn, so I don't really have a good way to show the whole thing, but it is a refund administration fee. So thank you, Amazon. Now when people return our stuff,
Wow, I did not see this one. Of course, there's another new fee.
Yeah. Deducts $5 or 20% from the referral fee on returned items. So instead of getting that whole referral fee back,
that's going to be great after Christmas when it's Returnuary.
Yeah, Amazon had to come up with a new way to do that. You know, they needed some new stuff. Oops, hold on. I'm going to try to make this bigger really quick. Let's see here.
Which is why everybody is constantly having to raise their prices to help cover all of these fees on fees on fees.
Yeah. Let's see if I can get this a little bit bigger. But so there's this new AI for customer support. So thanks, Amazon. You're going to charge more fees, and then you're going to do customer support as AI. So you're saving money over here. You're collecting more money over here. Amazon's taken a big hit over the last 2 years in their platform, so they need to come up with more money for their stockholders. But Rufus sounds like a dog, but the complaint that was posted was that there's no direct option to chat with a human, and you can call the phone number, but yeah, people are frustrated with their new AI bot. Just ridiculous. Like, what are we paying for? You know, seriously, I pay for you to handle the customer service, and now you're not handling the customer service. That irritates me big time.
And AI is.
Yep. All right. Here is the article, or one of many articles, if you want to just type into Amazon launching something to fend off Temu and Shein. So they hosted a closed-door event for sellers in China where it presented a new budget storefront that features low-cost apparel, home goods, and other items. Storefront would directly compete with Temu and Shein, and it's unclear when the debut will be, but that's what Amazon wants to get all their stuff from China, and I'm sure at the correct velocity.
If you've ever ordered off of those sites, the quality is not that great.
No, but you know what? Some things, they're just, it's not, it's like dollar store type stuff, right? And it's, if I just want spider webs or a witch for the front yard, like, I don't care. I don't need a $50 witch. I don't need to go to Michael's and pay an arm and a leg for the stuff that still comes from China. I mean, it's not like Michael's gets their stuff from an American place. I used to work there, and it's great for things that are not, I want to say, almost disposable, because my daughter loves shopping on Shein for clothes. And, you know, when it's like $10 a shirt, it's sure, get 3 of them. When we go to the mall and they want $80 for a sweater because it's in style or whatever, I'm going, she's not going to outwear any of it. You know, the quality is not my big concern, because she's not buying a capsule wardrobe piece or an interview piece. She's going to high school, folks. She doesn't care. If it lasts her 3 months, fine. And then we are into a different style and thing anyways. So I'll be donating it anyways at the end of the season.
I want to share what Heather says because this is going back to what you said about the refund. She said, so I was looking at my data with this fee this morning. I have a barbecue sauce that they are charging me a $4 per unit refund fee. Oh, and the refunds are coming from them shipping in poly bags.
Oh,
$4 a unit refund fee. So what they're doing, it sounds like that is probably the cost of the shipping.
Yeah, they're trying to get the shipping back.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, they're trying to do anything they can to get out of whatever fees.
Yeah. After deactivation of my account and me pulling all of my inventory, the shipping fees having it shipped back to me cost roughly $6,000.
Mine wasn't that much, so I don't know. I got to look into my thing because mine was less than half of that. So I'm not sure. We'll talk later about that, though. I'm not sure how or Paul. Maybe I'm polling wrong. Okay, this next one. Let's see here. This one's very interesting. We've got a compliance fast track program. So I'm just laughing because how many people think that this fast track program is going to work as intended? No, it's probably not.
We're just some salty old sellers, aren't we?
Today. Very salty. Yeah.
Just salty, bitter.
Bitter like my coffee.
It's like the ex-wives and your husband has a new young hot chick.
Oh my God. Okay. Compliance on behalf of selling partners. So their compliance stuff is ridiculous because sometimes things get flagged for compliance. I'm fighting some in Canada right now because I had some items that got flagged as kid stuff in Canada and they're not kid stuff. So I don't know what this compliance thing is going to do.
One of my clients is dealing with this. They sell a game for children. It's a card game. There's no small parts or pieces. It's simply just cards, but it comes in a box with instructions. And she was hit for this toy compliance policy paperwork on Amazon a few years ago. They shut down this particular game for over a year. As it took her, she got the compliance paperwork, and then it came down to the little booklet that came in the box. The instruction booklet had the the two staples in them because they're paper instruction booklets. She had to have those redone and have no staples in them to finally pass her child's safety. And so it cost a lot of money. Now she's being hit with that same compliance in Canada. And so I am appealing that for her in Canada with the documentation that she had from over a year ago that Amazon US accepted, but Canada is not. Canada wants even more documents than what we have already given them. So it is definitely a process, and it can make it hard for some companies to the point that these fees that it costs you to get these documents can shut you down.
Yes. So speaking of that, if you'd hang on afterwards, and maybe I'll shout it out here too. Fabulous didn't tell me whether she was okay with me sharing or not, but similarly, there's an export restriction on her product, and it is very similar to a card game for kids. Where do I find the export restrictions for Canada with Amazon? Because I can't find out why it is.
I haven't looked that deep into it yet. Today, that's a project I will be working on because I just got the rejection notice last night. So today, now I have to investigate these next steps.
Okay. And if anybody is familiar with, so the NARF program, they've taken off the N because they now have Brazil, and so it can't be North American anymore. It's got to be like whatever. It's got to be the ARF program, not the NARF program. But with the remote fulfillment program for Amazon US into Canada, toy restrictions, because now I have two peoples that have toy restrictions, and one of them is not a toy, so I'm arguing that. And the other one is a toy, but it just says export restrictions. So I'm trying to figure out how to get around the export restrictions, or how to even find out what the restriction is so that we can address that. So if anybody has any clues or insight, please pipe up because we could use your help. Choke here. I think that's all the screens that I had to share.
Got the morning coughs.
Uh,
Well, you guys, thank you for joining us here this Friday and every Friday. We always appreciate you. And I'm thinking next week here on the show, since we are getting into Q4 and now with bundles and jumping on bundle listings, right? The existing listings that we've jumped on seasonally. I used to jump on particular candy listings for years, but essential, even though I didn't create them, they're essentially a bundle listing that won't be allowed. I was thinking maybe we can look on Amazon at the types of listings that, aside from the traditional, what's the latest hot toy, any Christmas decoration that you might be selling or Thanksgiving thing, maybe we can take a peek at how is Amazon going to look for us now, going into sourcing, and what types of listings are compliant that we can possibly list on and profit from. Unless you are your own private label seller, everybody else is selling items that already exist on Amazon. So it's changing.
What do you think will be big over on Walmart? And did you see that Walmart is shut down on Turkey Day, on Thanksgiving?
Didn't they do that last year as well? I felt like they started that last year. I appreciate when stores close down on Thanksgiving. I appreciate it for the employees that work there.
Yes. But what do you think will be big sellers over there? What should we be looking for?
Well, it's always toys. For me, it's toys. Sometimes I have found other things aside from toys, but generally when I go to Walmart, it's toys. It used to be, before Amazon cracked down on things, it used to be also kids clothing and things in that department as well, like the character underwear packs, and then Amazon had such strict restrictions on children's things, including children's clothing and shoes and just anything around children, not just toys. So the way I used to source at Walmart to the way I've sourced at Walmart the last several years has really changed. And now even more so, right? Because a lot of us used to jump on those bundle listings of the 3 different variety packs of Hershey Kisses, the hot chocolate one and the peppermint candy cane one and the, whatever other Christmas, Grinch Santa hat, and those would be a bundle of a 3-pack, and there were great listings to source from Walmart, in candy and food. A lot of those are going to be no more. What about the listings? And this is where Amazon upsets me, because there were a lot of great bundles, and the customers, I think, appreciated buying them. Like when you had the Christmas cake mix with the Christmas frosting that went with it, or the Christmas cake mix with the frosting and a cute little Christmas themed cupcake wrapper. They were great bundles and they made sense. Bam, I add to cart one thing and I got everything I needed. So selling on Walmart is going to look a lot different moving forward. A lot of you are selling from Walmart like the Spring Valley vitamins, and you're selling on the 2-packs, the 2-pack of the same vitamin, the 2 bottles of B12. That is a bundle, and it's a bundle not made and put together from Spring Valley. So there is going to be a lot of changes moving forward for everybody because of, this bundle policy. So, on that note, why we in the show where we started is the bundle policy. Even if you were not someone that created bundles, you sold on those listings, most of you.
Yes. Well, even refunds like shampoo and conditioner sets, I know those are huge, and most of those are not done correctly because a lot of people don't have authority to make listings under whatever brand name. So they have it under some generic brand name. And even dollar store stuff, Greenbrier items, who knows what's going to happen with them.
Yeah. And I've made bundle listings under the brand's name because I was able to submit my invoice to Amazon and had permission to do that with that brand. Yet essentially that is not that's not how the brand packages it. So yeah, it's interesting territory moving forward.
Yeah. And if I remember right, Greenbrier Dollar Tree was not giving out letters of authorization.
That's correct.
So, I mean,
and if you are creating listings moving forward of brands, of the brands, you will have to get letters of authorization from the brands. I know we didn't touch upon that. I had to submit all my letters of authorization from the brands to Amazon when I did my Amazon appeal, even though their bundle policy does not state that you need letters of authorization from the brands. So it's just one of those.
We start diving into lawyer stuff here because Dollar Tree makes a lot of money off of people buying their items and flipping them on Amazon, putting it together. You see all sorts of different bundle items for Halloween. People have put together the skeletons or the door stuff or some sort of decorating thing. And Dollar Tree sells a lot to us third-party sellers that do that and then put it on Amazon. And it's kind of an in-between of getting a private label straight from China to getting it at the Dollar Tree. You know, it's here, you can get it, it's faster, but it's still that kind of cheap stuff. And that's going to be hard because Dollar Tree is going to lose money unless if they want to give out letters of authorization. So they'll have to think about that. As far as us sellers, there's a lot of progress moving forward in the court cases. There's some sellers, I didn't bring up any of the links here, but there are sellers that are now taking Amazon to court because they have lost so much money over this whole bundling thing. Do you think I could link the latest case that was done, or is that private?
I don't know if it's private, so we can hold off for next week on something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, with that, you guys, it's time for our show to be over. So thank you for hanging out with us. Come back next week. And I think next week we will talk about what kind of things can we sell during Q4, you know, without bundles and without, you know, different kind of multi-packs, although they're still kind of safe this year for Q4. Do you want to risk it? So I'm curious, you know, how you guys think about that, what you're planning on doing. So that's some food for thought. And let's take a look at what some sourcing might look like for Q4 next week.
Yeah, that sounds like fun. And see what listings are up.
All right.
What's
Have a
been
good
taken down.
weekend, everybody.
All right. Bye, everybody.